Hey everybody, it's Patrick from the Master Knife Shop coming to you with another video review of a knife we just got in our shop. This is a Leatherman Rustle, and before you get into it, no, Rustle is not the name of the guy who designed it. It's got a really cool historic reason behind that name, and I'm going to get into that, so hang in with me and we're going to check it out. First, let's take a look at the packaging. Everybody knows Leatherman for their tools. Tim Leatherman started in 1983 with a pair of pliers that had knives and tools on it that folded up. We all know that, but they all decided we need to get into the knife business. So here we are with a new selection, and I started with this particular one because it is my favorite. Let's look at the box. They've gone all out this time around. Nice sleeve on the box right there, and then a slide out drawer. And it has some really cool stuff inside. First thing right there is going to be a booklet telling you all the new knives that they're putting out, folders and fixed blades, so that's pretty cool. They've got your inspection person that checked it out before it went in the market. This folder right here is about care and warranty, so don't lose that. That's important. And this little QR code, which is kind of new and giving all the boxes, this actually takes you to a nice link that's going to talk about maintenance care. It also has a link to their little maintenance kit that you can get through Leatherman, so don't forget to keep that handy and check that out. Nice little setup right here. It's just really well done. You can see they've got their 25-year warranty, made in the USA. Everything about Leatherman is just very historic and very cool. One of our favorite brands that we carry. And it's nice to see they've entered the knife market. So let's get this out of the way and let's start talking about the Rustle. So this guy right here, as you might imagine by the looks of it, is going to be a cook knife. Now you can use it at home, but this was designed for the trail. So if you're going to be out hunting, camping, hiking, fishing, and you're going to stop for lunch, you're going to camp overnight, this is your cook knife to use on the site. Really, really well done. Really looked at this and messed with it quite a bit, and I'm very impressed with what they did. It's got a lot of cool features. First of all, Magnacut steel. You can see that right there. Really nice, and we'll get into the Magnacut steel in a little bit. The rest of the look here is a sheep's foot blade, but really it's the Santoku. That's the style they wanted because that is a typical kitchen knife. And I've got another knife to show you the size in just a second, how this seems like it's a little bit small, but that was made that way on purpose. When you're on the trail, you're packing out, you don't want a lot of extra weight. So they made this totally functional and pretty robust for what it is, but at the same time save some weight by the size. I do like the handle on this. They used a really grippy G10 texturing on this, so when you're out in the trail, you can feel this when you're holding it. If you want to check it out in our shop, if you come by, no slipping on this G10 at all. Some G10s have a tendency to be a little slick. This is more grippy, and I really like the fact they took the effort to do that. It is a full tang all the way down, really nicely done with jimping on the backside, so really nice to hang on to. I do like the finger stop as usual on fixed blades, so if you're working hard on something you're cooking or you're breaking down some meat, you don't have to worry about slipping up on the blade. Really well designed there. Nice stonewash finish here. It does have a lanyard hole in the back end if you're into that like I am. It's just a really nice piece all the way around. It's for the campsite. I really, really enjoyed checking this out and learning about it. I talked about the name Rustle. Well, that's because this was designed with the old school cowboy in mind. Back in the day when they were doing cattle drives and roundups, they would always have a chuck wagon, and on the chuck wagon there would be a cook who would get the food ready. And back then it was called rustling up some grub. And so I don't know if you've heard that term, but the name Rustle comes from the old Western days when they would rustle up grub. And so they named it Rustle because that's what it's about, cooking out in the outdoors. So pretty cool concept behind why they named this the Rustle. I want to show you a different knife that compares with this because you're curious about the size, and we'll cover specs in a second. The specs, pricing, and links to purchases are in the description below, so if you're liking what you see, be sure to go ahead and check that out. So I brought a Santoku from home, my Henkel, and you can see the size difference is quite a lot. I know it's a little weird to see that much difference in the knife, but remember this was designed to be on a campsite or a hunting site where you don't want the oversized stuff, you don't want the extra weight, but you still want the functionality of what that knife is supposed to do. But I wanted you to see the size difference so you weren't a little bit shocked if you purchase this and go, wow, that's a lot smaller than I expected. I still love it for what its functionality is. I do like the fact that a lot of kitchen knives don't come with a sheath, but they designed a really nice Kydex sheath to go with this, so when you drop it in your pack, it's nice form-fitted and locks into place. Really nice, and it's a nice pancake design. You can drop this in your cook kit or in your backpack and not worry about it cutting anything up, and it locks in place. Really nice there too. So again, well thought out by Leatherman, really going the extra mile for you. Let's take a look at the specs on this. Now it weighs in at 4.3 ounces. So again, keeping it lightweight, but it's still robust enough to use it on the site for anything from chopping up herbs to breaking down meat. It's a great cook's knife for the campsite. Lengthwise, from end to tip is going to be about 8.5 inches. plenty to work with, even though it seems a little small, but you can see how it fits in your hand really nice. And then the working edge is 4 inches. That's plenty to go with when you go ahead and cooking, plenty to do with as far as preparing your meal. Really, really well put together. The steel on this is Magnacut. That's kind of where they're shining. All their knives are coming out with Magnacut steel, and I really like they've taken that extra step to make sure the steel you're getting on all these new knives, fixed blades, and folders that they're coming out with is Magnacut. One thing I do like about their Magnacut, they offer free sharpening and maintenance on any knife they have that has Magnacut steel. You just have to mail it into them. They take care of the maintenance, the sharpening, and send it back to you free of charge. That's something to keep in mind. Let's take a look at the steel chart from Magnacut. You guys know we love our steel chart. We have edge retention, toughness, and corrosion resistance with stainless properties. And you can see Magnacut really raises up on the edge retention. It's just an all-around great steel. They picked this because of this reason. Edge retention on this is really great. A lot of times you'll lose something on the other end down here, but they didn't. Magnacut, great toughness. So you're out there in the woods and you're doing stuff with this knife, it's hanging in there. And even better is corrosion resistance. That's 9.5 out of 10. That's phenomenal because you are using it in the outdoors, and that's probably the best steel you could possibly use, and has just a great all-around setup for you for your knife. So good on Leatherman for picking that particular steel. Now this comes in at $279.95. Offered in our stores and online. It's worth every penny because of how they built it and what it's for. I just think that you can't go wrong with this knife. It is just an awesome outdoorsman's knife, and that is the Rustle from Leatherman. That'll do it for now. I hope you found this information helpful. Before you go ahead and hit that like button and be sure to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss anything we put out there, and also hit the bell because that'll notify you as soon as we drop new videos. That's it for today, and I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. We'll see you next time around.